Okay, we are in Shmuel Aleph, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give it a thumbs up, hit the bell, do whatever you have to do, and let's get money going. Okay, but we are in chapter 17, and we are dealing with when that's what happened. We were describing Goliath, right? Goliath. So let's go to, just start again with 8. I'm not going to go through the whole mouth because we did that the last time. But we'll start with verse 8, 17:8. And it says, V'yamod v'yikra el ma'arachot Yisrael. So what happened is Goliath, he stood and he called to the armies of Israel. Vayomer lahem, and he said to them, Lama tetz'u la'aroch l'milchama, why should you go out to set an array for war? Halo anochi a-Pelishti, surely I am a Pelishti, I represent the Pelishtim. V'yatem avadim l'Shaul, and you are servants of Shaul. There's a lot of meaning to these words. So he says, Baru lechem ish ve'yired elai. Choose from yourselves a man and let him come down to me. Now, again, I'm just going to review very quickly what the Malbim said, because it's a very long Malbim, but we did that last week, and it wasn't on tape, because the computer fell apart. Okay, so for you people out there in the computer land, watch me on YouTube. There's millions and millions of people who watch this. Okay, so what happened was the Malbim said that, and you get it from the words, by the way. If you look at the words, he says, I am a Pelishti, you are the servants of Shaul. So first, number one, what he's saying is, I'm a free man, you are servants. So I, as a free man, if I lose to you, I become your servants. I go from being a free man to a servant. You, on the other hand, are servants of Shaul. So if you lose, you just become servants of the Pelishtim. You don't change in status. I'm a free man going to slavery. You're a slave going to slavery. That's what he's talking to. That's step number one for in his speech to the Jews. The other one was, normally there's a reason for conquering a country. In other words, you have to have some reason for aggression. So he said, you people, what you did was, we were ruling over you. Right? And then what happened is you rebelled against us, and you took upon yourself a king. Okay? It would be like, very much like when we rebelled against Britain. We were originally a British rule country, right? We were under British rule. And then what happened was we didn't like the tea tax of less than 2%, of which now we're paying, Baruch Hashem, over 70% in tax. So we really did a lot with our revolution. Okay, and that's for all you guys out there, all you wonderful people yelling that, oh, he's crazy. Okay. But nonetheless, the British came over here because they said, how dare you rebel against the Queen? King, excuse me, Queen, King, the royalty, monarchy. I forgot who was the king at that point?
King George.
George, thank you, King George. See, that's why you're home. Who?
Fourth. Yes, fourth.
George King IV. Okay, so because we were rebelling against King George IV, so they came out and strongly said, "Hey, ye rebels, you idiots! What are you doing here?" Now I think they're happy we rebelled against them and threw them out. Okay, but but nonetheless, but that's what it's comparable to. So the Pelishtim are saying, he's representing a Pelishtim. And he's saying, we're going to go from one to the other, but that's our reason for this act of aggression. You started, we want to finish this up. But, again, the point is, why all of us get together, why all of us fight, is not worthwhile. Let the champion win. A boxing match to the end, okay, to your death. So now let's continue. That was, again, a very long Malbim. I summarized it very quickly. So if those who want to go through the Malbim, I invite you to that. So im yuchal lihilachem iti v'hikani. So this is his challenge. If you can fight with me and you kill me, v'ayinu lachem la'avadim, so then we will be to you servants. V'maniach uchal lo v'hikitiv. But if I can beat you, so then hayitim lanu la'avadim, you will be servants to us. V'vadatem otana, and you will serve us. Not just enough you'll be servants to us, but you will serve us. Okay, so again, he's making a whole thing of freedom versus moving, a move down versus a lateral move. Okay, if I'm a free man, I have to become a slave. That's a move down. If I'm a slave, so what's the difference? I'm making a lateral move. So you served him, you'll serve us. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now 10. Vayomer Apalishti. So the Apalishti say, Ani charafti ed marachot Yisrael hayom hazeh. I am reviling. How does he say that? I am taunting. Fine. I am taunting the armies of Israel today. Tnuli ish nil nachalama yachad. Give to me a man, and we will fight together. Again, he's doing this. He's going to do this to try to taunt the Jews in order to let them send the people in. So the Musudas David explains when he says, I am taunting, he says, Komer, Eich lo tavushu, how can you not be embarrassed? Here I'm one guy coming against you, give me a champion. Hello, ani mecharef et Yisrael lomar she'eni machem gevara. Behold, I am saying to you, I am taunting you to say there's nobody strong amongst you. V'atem tacharishun, and you're being quiet? How long are you going to do this? Give me a man. So he's going out there, he's doing this every single day. He's going to go out there and taunt them. It's very hurtful to the people, okay? It's saying, what are you doing? So the Malbim says on this statement, he says, Amar lehem, he says to them, Du'u kiv kavanatin halechirpam. My intent, he says, know that my intent is to taunt you, to taunt them and to embarrass them, to make them despicable. To tell them that there's nobody strong like me amongst them. Because that which I said to them, Hitneti, Shemishi, Nusach, you call a Mo Avadim, and I already said, whoever wins, that entire nation will be the slaves of the other. You're showing that you don't want this. There's nobody to save you. You can choose to do a war like this. So behold, now I'm saying to you, give me a man and we'll fight together. So he says, show me now if there is a man, a strong man like me, that you can send to me. And this is without all the pre-existing conditions, he says. Because war normally, in the normal manner, is nation versus nation, right? And since you don't want to do properly, to justify this properly in a judgment of war in this manner, so in all this, so after this, I'm saying to you in a matter of taunting and so on and so forth, that there's nobody amongst you that is a valiant soldier. And so by force, you should find it you need to find it necessary to search out a man that will fight with me. Mikinato el kavod b'nei amo, for the jealousy of the honor, if you will, at this point, of the people of his nation, that I'm taunting and showing they're worthless. Now, because of this, he says the second statement. That there's they don't want to show at all the justice of again. Last week we were dealing with this mishpat of the fighters. In other words, I explained it last week as in every fight game, in every boxing match, how many judges do you have? 3, correct. Right? You have 3 judges. No, it's not just a one-time judge. You have a referee in the match, and you have 3 judges. Remember that? That's what he's talking about. Where he said, we'll have people set up that will judge the fight, and whoever wins, wins. That's normally how you deal with those situations. Okay. But he's just trash talking him. Again, if I'm updating the language, he's trash talking him. So the therefore David shahalach likom nikmatamo. That's why when David went to avenge his nation. Lo hitna tanayim. There was no conditions there. Lo amid edim v'shoftim. There would not be no witnesses and judges. Lo ayinu sheyishtavu halochamim b'nehem. There would be nothing to show that the fighters are equal. Again, what is the rule of boxing? You cannot have a heavyweight fight a welterweight. Yeah. You both have to be of equal size. You both have to have the same weaponry or equal weaponry. Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's part of the gladiator, if you will. That's the gladiator. If I'm going to have Andre the Giant versus me, I think we're going to I think it's a pretty clear thing, even though he's dead, that he's going to beat me. Okay. Well, actually, I can beat him. But the point is that if you have a 6 foot, he was 8 feet. I think he was 8 feet. 7'7". Thank you. 7'7" versus a 5'7". On my that's when I have high heels on 5'7". Okay, 5'6". Oh. So I think I'm gonna lose. Okay.
I don't know. Did you ever watch Princess Bride?
No, I didn't. I did, but it doesn't matter. I understand what you're saying. You can always beat a giant. You tell me, fine. Okay. But the point is that normally you're not going to win. Okay, you'll agree with that. Okay. Yeah. That's why we always talk about David versus Goliath. Right. Because he was my height. David was my height or around my height, according to what they say. Mm-hmm. And Goliath is, if I remember correctly, we said 9 or 10 feet. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a tall guy. You look at it, you put me next to some people who are 6'5", and I look like I am small, but I really look small. Now you put me against a basketball player, I look like the little midgets running around. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So I don't think midgets are politically correct today. I have to say little people. Thank you. Okay. Vertical challenge. Okay. Thank you. So kiyatsa elav machmad. So he says kiyatsa elav machmad mamaro shel hasheni shayuchiru fikidu. So he's only going out because he's taunting. Lo machmad maro rishon shalom nitrusebo yishol klal. Not before the first reason that he wants to do it with to appease for the Jews. No, he's not doing that. You're going out to revile, you're going out to taunt, so we're going to listen. So now what happens? 11. So what happened was Shaul and all of Israel heard the words of the police chief, these words of the police chief. And 2 words for fear here. They feared great, I guess they want to say they feared greatly, probably. That's how the English probably going to say it. How's the English said? Yeah, they were panic-stricken and very much afraid. Okay, like I said, 2 words for fear. And so Malbim again explains what happens. Vayomer v'hinei Shaul v'Yisrael namug levavam yirat gibor hazeh. What happened was, why were they afraid? Because, according to the Malbim, Shaul and the Jews' hearts melted from the fear of this great, strong person. And also when they heard the words of his taunts, lo nimsabam, they couldn't find amongst them misha yilabesh nakam tavoshet. They couldn't find anybody who was willing to go into that sort of a battle. So what should they have been concerned with? The guy comes and taunts them. What should they have felt right away?
Anger?
No.
I can't remember the name of it, but resolve
based upon who wins wars? Yeah. You can, who wins wars? God. It's only God who wins wars. How much history do you need on your side? You're a bunch of Jews, for crying out loud. They went against 7 Canaanite nations and they defeated all of them. Okay, actually, Yeshua went to 41 wars. Yeah. And it was a 41 record. 40 wins versus 1 loss. If I'm going into a boxing match with 40 wins, 1 loss, I think I'm pretty good. So this other Michigan that comes and says, I'm going to beat you. I have a 41 record. Are you crazy? 40 knockouts to one technical knockout. Yeah. You got me on one technical. I got you 40 knockouts. I destroyed you. So what am I afraid of? If I have Hashem on my side, so you want to argue, maybe you could argue, oh, we must have sins on our side, and that's why the Plishtim are coming up. So what should you do? You do tshuva.
Yeah.
You don't worry about anything else. That's the point here. You don't say, I'm so worried he's taunting me. Oh, the guy's such a big guy. How can we beat him? He's one guy. We have armies here. The other guys are all 5'7" too. It's one giant. Who cares?
So why didn't they think, just send the whole army in and just knock out the entire
because he's challenged. He's controlling the, what's it called?
So he's trying to make them look bad, saying
Right.
you don't even have one guy that can...
Right, so what's it called when you control the dialogue? You're making the rules. It's like the way, they always want to say the left controls the blank on the right. They're setting the agenda.
You said, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So he's setting the agenda. He's saying, why should we, it's a very nice argument.
Yeah.
I mean, from Goliath, why should we go out and fight with you? People are going to die needlessly.
Kill thousands on each side.
I'm representing Plishtim.
Interesting.
And they're willing to say that if I lose, they'll serve you. So you send out your best guy.
That's funny. You hear critics in modern day. You hear critics of war today making the say, "Let's let the two leaders of the two countries fight."
Correct. I said that last week too.
Oh.
I did say that. Yeah. Your question is,
If he says send someone out like me, is it just someone? Because maybe you can find someone really skilled that'll match his skill versus his just raw power. But there is no one amongst Israel who matches him in any shape or form, specifically the form. So wouldn't it be fair if you were to send out more than one person? Like we can't send any one man like you, but we have five guys, and you carry the weight of 5 men around you. So
okay.
Yeah.
So the answer is, in any match, if you're calling out for somebody, your choice, of course, would be to concede.
right,
We give up. You're right. You're stronger than us. We become your servants. That's the easiest way to do it. Or send out your best fighter. So it doesn't have to be the same. Again, he's not saying we're going to go by normal standards of war, where it's a real boxing match, where we have three and the one who wins, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying, I'm their best. I represent. Send out your best. And size doesn't matter.
right,
Remember something. If I was speaking for Goliath and I was his rep, I would say, you guys keep telling me your God is more powerful.
right,
So if your God is more powerful, you could have a mosquito against me and beat me. So prove your God is more powerful. And by the way, they all do believe in God.
right.
They all believe this is from God. So let's not throw that out of the equation. They all have this, whatever their gods are, in their case, Dagon. So they had Dagon versus Rabban. So Dagon was, again, a knockout back in the times of the Pelishtim when they first captured the Ark. Right, that was a knockout. But maybe he got up and he worked himself up and he did his workouts. You always have to remember that in the boxing, again, using the boxing analogy, what made when Ali versus Frazier, you remember the names? You know the names at all?
I know Ali.
Say it again?
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali. He went against Joe Frazier. It was 3 fights they had. I think 3. So one fight, Ali, they say, didn't take Joe Frazier seriously.
Yeah.
And Joe Frazier destroyed Muhammad Ali as a result of that. So then the next fight, they would go, it was called the Thriller Manila? Okay. Thriller Manila. And that one, how did they say, the Midrash goes, how did Ali train? He had a picture of Joe Frazier hanging up in the gym. That would be his incentive to say, I'm never going to take him for granted again. And of course, at that point, he beat him. And through Manila, I think he beat. Ali beat Frazier, I'm pretty sure. Actually, the next 2 fights, he would beat Frazier. So, but that was what he did. So imagine Dagon, use that same image. Dagon, the god, the fish god, is remembering, so their God beat me. I'm training, and I'm going to take him on. Of course, Dagon will never win. But now the Pelishtim feel empowered because they have been in charge of the Jews for a little while. Remember, Shaul is only 2 years king. He's not even 2 years at this point. He's maybe a year king. So they want to regain their territory. So now he's coming out and saying, let's go one-on-one. And if your God is so strong, the hill, send out your best, because it doesn't matter. Your God is going to win if your God is going to win. Okay? He's not saying that. He's putting it on them. If he would have said your God, which he will, but if he would have said it first, then there would have been much more incentive for them to do a little tshuva.
Right.
But now there's not. He's saying you send out your givest. Okay? But that's really where it's going. Now what happened is, V'David ben Ish Ephrati Hazet. So David was the son of an Ish of a man of Ephraim, which means what? He can be. Let's finish the thing. Mibeit Lechem Yehuda, from Bethlehem in Yehuda. So what was he? Was he from the tribe of Ephraim, or was he from living? What's going on there? You can't have two. Either he's from Ephraim or from Yehuda, right? So Rashi says, what does it mean Ephrati? Beit Lechem Yoshevet be'eretz Ephrat. That Bethlehem was living in the land of Ephrat. The territory of Yehuda was in some part of Ephrat. You still have Ephrat there today. I assume it's the same place. But that would have been like the township. So he was just like we would call ourselves Hoosiers in the United States. Or Hoosiers. Well, I guess Hoosiers all Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay, so we would call it okay, it doesn't work. So if I say when I don't know how this works.
Hoosiers versus American.
No, I want to say different. I want to say like where I come from, okay? So a Bostonian, okay? So I'm a Bostonian in the state of Massachusetts. That would be what they're saying. In other words, Yehuda is the entire area, but a little town is called Ephrat there. Okay, so I live in Ephrat, so I'm an Ephrati, I'm a Stotonian, I'm a Bostonian, I'm a South Bender. I guess I'm a Mishawaukeean.
Yeah.
I don't know how you would say that. Yeah.
So Ephraim is not, it's mistaken as the name of the tribe, Ephraim?
No, I'm saying you may have thought that,
Right, that's
but he's saying it's not that.
Okay.
Okay, that's the point. That's why Rashi has to bring that down. So, like I said, so David was a man David was the son of a man of this Ephrati, again living in Ephrat from Bethlehem in Yehuda, Ushmo Yishai, and his father's name was Yishai. Thus you have David ben Yishai. Okay, Velo Shmona Banim, and he had 8 sons. Va'ish b'mei Shaul, and the man in the days of Shaul, Zakem Baban Hashem. He was older amongst the men. Okay, his time was coming amongst men. Okay, fine. He was old. So Rashi will explain. Not Rashi. Malbim explains the David. So it says Terem Yavol the Sapir Inyan David. So before Malbim's giving the introduction, it says before it comes to tell you of the matter of David, Hiktim lahashiv al shtei she'elot shishal hama inyan ma'ayimpo. So it proceeds to answer 2 questions that are asked in this matter. First question: Eich b'milchama hazot lo nimsa David ben Yishai anshe chayil. Why wasn't David at this fight originally? Where was David? Here, this guy is coming to say, let the champion come out. Well, where's David? We already described him as the Anshe Chayil, a man of valor. Hello, Matbeah Gibor Lahamsi Eretz Smo El Makom Shesham Yuchal Harot Lekvorto. So surely that this is a time for him to show himself. Madua Nivka David Milavo El Maracha. So why wasn't David coming to the war? And number 2, since David was always with Shaul, and he was his weapons bearer, how could he not have known what the Pelishti was saying? And why didn't he wake up about these words? Why did it take him 40 days? Okay, that's the question that you would come up with. Meishiv. So instead of having you ask those questions, the Tanakh answers it for you without you asking it by saying David ben Ish Ephrati Hazeh, that David was a man of this Ephrati Shekavara Yanahu Benehem, that was already amongst them. That the army that was going to war was split up amongst the houses of the fathers. That a person that had 8 sons, the oldest one would go to the war, but the youngest one would remain with the father, remain in the house to serve the father. So who was the oldest? Was David the oldest? No, he was the youngest. So by rights, he should be with daddy. He shouldn't be in the war. Brought im haya av zaken, and certainly if his father was old, uba al nechasim, and some of you had a lot of possessions, that he needed the majority of his sons to remain in the house of Shatul, to serve him and to guard his cattle, or to guard his possessions. This is the case here, that he had 8 sons and he was old. So it was a trifecta here. He was old, he had sons, he was rich. And so if that's the case, then David's not going to be there. Okay, so how does David get to the war? So 3 of the older sons of Yishai, the 3 of those guys, they went to war with Shaul, Vishem, Shoshabanim, and the name of his 3 sons, that went to the war, were Eliav Eliav the firstborn, Umishneu, and the secondborn was Avinadav, Aviashlishi, and the third was Shammah. Interesting names, but okay, we won't get into names at this point. So he says, so the Malbim says, Vehem Elish Alchu Imo Tamid, and they are the ones that always went with Shaul, Vezeshikatu V'yelchu Halchu, and that's why he's saying, okay, that way. Now, what happens with David, David was the smallest, Shaul, and the 3 older ones went after Shaul. Okay, so again, that's preempting your question. That's what Malbim said. That preempts the question. Why wasn't David there? Because David was with the father, and the other 3 went with Shaul, which of course left 5 at home. So the youngest one would take care of the sheep or whatever, but 5 are left home to take care of dad because dad's old and has possessions. Fine. For David, Aholech v'shav me'al Shaul, and so David returned from Shaul, l'irod etzon aviv, to shepherd the flocks of his father and Beit Lachem. So Malbim explains, for David Hayakatan, why does he have to say he was the smallest? Mikulam, from everybody. He was youngest of everybody. Vayakifi anahug. So it was according to the custom, that he would stay in the house of his father. So that also answers the second question that you didn't ask yet. Okay. Hello, David. No, we just said that David was always found near Shaul. So how couldn't he have heard the words of the Plishti? Since he was the youngest, and the 3 older sons went after Shaul. David holech v'shav me'al Shaul huchrach l'shuv beito. And since David had to, as it were, go to his father, so he had to return home. So he has to shepherd the sheep of his father. Okay, so you understand? That's what the setup is. In other words, if there was not wartime, where would David have been? No. It would have been with Shaul. But since there's a war going on, so now the draft comes back into order. All the rules of the draft, again, I'm using English, the American system for this, but the rules of the draft come back. So now I send back the youngest kid, you deal with your daddy, and I take the 3 guys who are trained fighters, they come to me, and you keep 5. We don't want to kill your whole family, so go. So that's how the system is set up. That each family had certain kids who would go and certain kids who would stay home and take care of everything. Yeah.
So the three oldest ones went with Shaul, but there were five still back at home, including David.
That was one of the five.
Who were the rest of the five?
If I get the kids' names, but
Right. It just gives us the oldest three and David.
because they went to war.
Okay.
Why did he give the names?
Well, they're going to become important later on.
But not the other five.
Oh, they're not in the war yet. Again, I think we know the other five from before. I'm not sure. In other words, we were introduced originally to the family.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I think I'm not sure if they gave those names, or that maybe they're just unimportant. Right. It could be as simple as that. They're not important. Certainly not at this moment. But the point is that he has three. Five are home, including David. David being one of the five.
Right.
Okay. So, Vayigash HaPlishti Hashkem Va'arev. So here the Plishti, that was a parenthetical statement. We're just answering the question where David is. So Vayigash HaPlishti Hashkem Va'arev. So the Plishti approached early in the morning and at night. Interesting, by the way, how they say that. If you look at the word Hashkem, it means getting up early in the morning. Mm-hmm. So I'm guessing they say early in the morning here.
Early.
Drew near morning, right, and evening. Yeah, it's interesting that they're saying that because, like I said, Hashkem normally just means get up early in the morning. Ha'arev is causing the mixture, which is meaning the night. V'yitzitzev arbim yom. And he stood there for 40 days. Every single day, he's getting up twice a day, saying, okay, show me your champions. Yeah.
So they were standing on opposite, from what I recall, the two armies were kind of on opposite sides of it, or on two, like, the valley in between, two sides of a hill. They were